Okay, Thursday the 7th, we have our full body. So you have your rounds. We have burpees, jump squat, V-up, renegade row. So I'm just, for the purpose of it, I'm just gonna show a half burpee. Jump squat. V-up. Here or here. And renegade row. Here or kneeling. Okay, so burpee, another one, ton of modifications. So your typical burpee, which you've probably seen before, is you're going to reach down to the ground. You're then gonna flop to the ground. Chest, everything is on the ground. You're then gonna push up into almost a squat, jump, down, hit the ground, up, jump, down, hit the ground, up, jump. Half burpee. Down, jump out into high plank, jump back in, up, so you don't touch the floor. Down, high plank, in, up. Down, high plank, in, up. Off of a chair. Down, high plank, in, up. Down, high plank, in, up. If you cannot jump, you can step in, step out, either way or both ways. Step out, jump in, stand. Down, jump out, step in, stand. Down, step out, step in, stand. And you can do those for the half burpee as well. And even full burpee, you can step your way in instead of jumping in. So another one with a ton of modifications. Really all you're focusing on, like if you're gonna do a full or a half one, is I always recommend keep your foot stance wide. So if you're gonna do a half burpee, here, out, I always jump either wider than my hands, or if they're closer, I'm farther away from my hands. But you should never be super close to your hands and have a really close stance with your feet, because it makes it very, very unstable. So jump out, jump in wide, or if you jump in closer, just don't come in as close to your hands, okay? That's my best advice. But yes, these are very tiring, so choose the one that you can do 4 each time. Oh, I forgot to show rolling tees. Sorry if you're still watching this because you've been here before and you don't remember a rolling tee. It looks like this. Or kneeling, just step that back leg out. Okay, sorry, I forgot that. All right, jump squat. So this is a squat with a jump. So you're gonna come down, swing your arms back, jump up. Sink down, swing your arms back, jump up. Sink down, swing your arms back, up. Down, swing your arms back, up. Okay, so you can do it, I typically try to do it continuously. If you need to take a break, okay, but either way, you wanna make sure you don't miss the squat. So it's easy to kind of like shallow squat or like almost skip it because you're jumping, but you have to remember to sink down. So if you do it continuously, sink down, up, sink down, because it's really easy to do this. And then you're doing like a half squat, okay? So remember to hit that full squat. If you can't jump, you're just gonna hit regular body weight squats. Or you could do weighted squats, up to you. V-ups. So this one is, this one is definitely more advanced. So if you don't have that strong of a core, you're gonna wanna do the second option. So the first option is your V-up, which basically you're trying to meet your hands with your toes. So you're gonna be stretched out like this, your hands are gonna be above your head, and then your feet are obviously stretched out, and you're gonna basically crunch up like a V in the middle, okay? Touch your toes. So when you do this, you're basically balancing like this, touching your toes, okay? So if you can't find that balance, it's probably not gonna work for you. A lot of times people go to do it and they fall down like this, or they just can't reach. So if that's you, you're gonna start with your feet up already, and you're gonna put your arms above your head, touch your toe, down, touch your toe, down. So even though you're not lifting your legs, you're still at least holding them in a static hold, and then you're reaching upward. So that's the good thing about the V-up, is that you reach up, so you're still able to do it without moving your legs, whereas a crunch, you're moving forward, V-up, you're moving up, okay? So you're moving up to your toe, up to your toe, okay? Renegade row. So we did the body weight renegade row. So this one, you're just adding weight. So this one can be tricky because you have to hold on to your weights the whole time, and depending on what kind of weights you have, like mine are hex, but they're like rounded hex. So a true hex, like I have some metal ones, it's like super sharp corners. I don't know, I'll remember if it's actually hex. Is it hexagon? I think so. But anyways, so it should have 6 sides, but this one is like, it's got sides, but then in between where the sides meet, it's another little flat piece. So it makes it where, see that? So instead of that being a sharp point, like the other real hex weights are, it's got that flat part. So it makes it able to roll really easy. So if you're having a hard time, we can just do something else. You can either do it without the weight, or you could just do regular rows, which I could show you if you need the assistance. But yeah, so the sometimes makes it difficult because you're on them and you're trying to balance. So if your weights are gonna like roll away from you or keep moving, it's a little bit difficult. So you don't need to use like super heavy weights for this. So you're gonna be in high plank position, but you're gonna broaden up your legs because you're gonna be shifting your weight. So have a really wide stance, high plank position, pull up in that row, down, pull up, down, pull up, down, pull up, down. You can do it on your knees. Row, 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 okay? So that's it for your rounds. And then we have, like I mentioned, your rolling T's. So this is like it's kind of like a moving plank, because you're kind of going from high plank to side to high to side to high to side, okay? But you're never dropping down. So that's why it's kind of difficult. Some people even might feel dizzy. So that's why you can always do it down on your knees. So I'm just gonna show you the full rolling T first. So like I said, you start off on your high plank and you kind of just dip your feet to the side and go up into your side plank with your hand in the air, and you look at your hand, okay? So both of my feet are on the sides. Then I return, I just shift my weight, I return to middle, and then I flop down the other way. Look up at my hand, back down, back down. So you just hold it for like a second, back down. Okay, so I'm gonna do it backwards so you can see what my feet look like. Okay, and if you can't do that, you're gonna do it kneeling, which is gonna look like this. So you're just gonna come from kneeling to step out with your arm, out with your hand, back down to kneeling, out with your foot, out with your hand, kneel, out and out, kneel, out and out, okay? Those are your rolling T's. So you're gonna count them. So obviously it has to be where you do the same number on one side as you do on the other, okay? So that's your Thursday.